When you think of the Dallas Mavericks, it doesn't take you long to get to Dirk Nowitzki. And he and this organization have had a hell of a ride, and due to his immense offensive talent, it only took him until about the early 2000s to make them a real contender in the Western Conference, along with teammates like Steve Nash, Michael Finley, as well as Nick Van Exel's scoring off the bench. But there was no question about it. It was always Dirk's team. And while their regular season successes can be celebrated, they always had the roadblock of the San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan in his prime, David Robinson holding on, still able to make an impact on both sides of the floor. The Mavericks were never able to reach past the conference finals, and the next hurdle came when Dirk's former teammate, Steve Nash, joined the Phoenix Suns, and him and Mike D'Antoni created the 7 seconds or less offense. Now, Dallas was a strong offensive team themselves, but there was no way they could stand up to this, losing to the Suns in the postseason as well. And they really wouldn't have a chance at that next level until the emergence of Josh Howard. Yes, I created him so his face looks stupid. Howard quickly became one of the more well-rounded players in the league, someone who could score, grab a rebound, run down the floor, as well as hit an outside shot. And due to Howard averaging 20 points per game, the Mavericks in the 2006 season were finally able to surpass both the San Antonio Spurs as well as the Phoenix Suns. Now, of course, Dirk Nowitzki still being the main catalyst for this, but the roster around him was growing to the point where they were a force. And in the NBA Finals, they would go up against the Miami Heat. And if you remember this series, the story of it was Dwayne Wade went to the free throw line a lot. Now, with that being said, early on it seemed like Dallas was right where they wanted to be, up until about Game 3, and then Dwayne Wade went completely God mode, to the point where some people say it's the greatest performance in the history of the NBA Finals. And Miami defeated Dallas in 6 games. And if that image isn't bad enough, the very next season, this is Baron Davis celebrating after the 8th-seeded Golden State Warriors kicked the Mavericks' ass. And then over the next few seasons, they would lose to Chris Paul and the Hornets, Carmelo Anthony's Nuggets, and of course, don't forget the San Antonio Spurs. The Mavs, they needed a culture change, and so they started acquiring defensive players like Tyson Chandler and Sean Marion and Deshaun Stevenson, and it actually paid off, because they were able to defeat the Los Angeles Lakers as well as the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2011 to meet up with the big three of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. And Miami, it was looking beautiful for a while. They won Game 1, Dwayne Wade hit a crazy flying three-pointer, which appeared to seal Game 2, but then in the second half of the fourth quarter in that second game, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks, they were determined. And over the next few games of that series, some really weird things started happening. And to quote Bill Simmons, they broke LeBron James, throwing weird defenses at him, forcing a lot of outside shots, and it would result in the Mavericks capturing their first NBA championship. However, they have not had that much success since, and I think a big part of it is allowing Tyson Chandler to walk in free agency. Now, Mark Cuban, as aggressive as an owner as he is, he's going to get busy, and he has the last few seasons, throwing a whole bunch of money at Chandler Parsons and signing the guy in a nightclub. And then there was the Rajon Rondo experiment that, look, whether it's he was hurt, not the right fit, stubbornness from him and the head coach, it didn't work out. And then, of course, the DeAndre Jordan situation, where they had DeAndre agreeing to a deal, and then he just went back to LA. An unfortunate situation. Now, they did sign Wesley Matthews, who at one time was a lockdown and knockdown player. But he was coming off of an Achilles injury that has had a history of really plaguing NBA players. And so, for the 2016 season, they needed Darren Williams from the Brooklyn Nets at point guard. Zaza Pachulia was their quote-unquote answer at center. And while Dirk Nowitzki actually had a fantastic season, averaging nearly 50, 40, and 90 from the field, as well as a solid 16, 17 points per game, and really showing that he could still play even at his advanced age. it was a struggle. They could not stand up to the top teams in the Western Conference. There was deficiencies at the point guard and center position, and Wesley Matthews clearly rushed back from his Achilles injury because he did not have the speed and explosiveness necessary to compete. And the Mavericks, they would not make the postseason. They made it exciting, but in the end, they did miss out. Weird situation. Dirk is good, you want to give him another championship, the roster around him is not ready. So Mark Cuban looked to free agency, and the first guy he was looking at was Miami Heat center Hassan Whiteside, who emerged as one of the best big men in the league. But because the guy came out of nowhere, he was an unrestricted free agent with absolutely no bird rights. So in other words, he was looking to get paid, and whoever gave him the most money, you had a decent chance. The other one was Mike Conley, who, due to his hard work and progression, had gradually improved to one of the best point guards in the NBA, shooting, defense, playmaking. But the question was, why would Mike Conley leave Memphis? Well, because of this right here. They never really acquired the shooting necessary to take that roster to the next level. I mean, look at this shot that Tony Allen is about to take. So Mark Cuban had a plan to acquire these two guys, and he was successful. Mike Conley, as well as Hassan Whiteside, signed on the dotted line and became Dallas Mavericks. And the impact could be seen immediately. And with how successful the Mavericks had been in free agency in the past, as well as the huge boom in the salary cap, no one was too shocked that this happened. And so now Dirk Nowitzki, still as effective as ever, had the real roster around him. In Dallas, they were on a hot streak to start the season, and Wesley Matthews, he had finally come back to the heights that he was previously at with Portland. In Dallas, they were a force. But it wasn't until a game in December against the Golden State Warriors that teams and spectators really started taking them seriously. They already messed up by leaving Dirk open. I mean, look, he was, 35, 36 at this point? It doesn't matter, man. That ball is still going to drop if you leave him open. Golden State, the defending NBA champion, 2 times in a row, seemingly unbeatable. And, well, you can see why, because Wesley Matthews, he ain't playing no defense. I mean, that Achilles wasn't looking good on that one. And then Mike Conley on this play, he just forgot where Steph Curry was, and Curry gets to do that nice little underhand floaty thing that 2K loves to use. And then as you see here, Golden State employs the Klay Thompson, Steph Curry pick and roll, which works beautifully. I never actually considered the power of a point guard and a shooting guard doing a pick and roll, but if it works, I mean, the Warriors can make basically anything work, and oh my goodness, how did we not get that pass off? That's terrible. And as you can see here, it already was starting to look bad for the Dallas Mavericks, and then it's about to get even worse in a quick second. That was a god-tier screen by Andrew Bogut to free up Harrison Barnes. Down 7 points, barely any time left, can't hold on to the ball against the Golden State Warriors. You figure, okay, Dallas is good, but they're really not there yet. I mean, Dirk misses that one, but then Whiteside showing his worth. The offensive rebound, the putback, that's why they signed him. Because Zaza Pachulia ain't making no plays like that, let me tell you. So we're still in the game, but there is still a deficit at the same time. A bad shot from Wesley Matthews, but Steph Curry punched him in the jaw. Which means he gets to go to the free throw line with 3 shots for a chance to actually tie this thing up. The Golden State crowd is roaring, it's rocking. And he just said, why don't you go eat this excellent release? It's crazy. Usually when teams get down by 7 to Golden State, they might as well just tear up and run the other way. This Dallas team, they stared him right in the face and they said, thank you very much, Hassan Whiteside, for getting an offensive rebound. It's a tie game. Tied it up, down nearly double digits. And Wesley Matthews looking much better defensively this time on Klay Thompson as that rattles off. A chance to take the lead. Teams would relish for this opportunity. A tie game against the Golden State Warriors with under a minute left? That's a miracle in and of itself, but we're trying to win, okay? This is a rebuild, not a lose to Golden State build. Anyway, messed up the Dirk pick and roll. Whiteside's got to take a turnaround, and holy crap, that rolled in. A 2-point lead. Well, you know Golden State's as dangerous as ever. The second they pass the ball up court, that could immediately be 3 points. Okay, I'm watching Steph Curry like a hawk, but for some reason they're going away from him, and why is Draymond open for 3? This isn't good. Oh, thank Zeus. Conley to the free throw line. We gotta ice both these. Unfortunately, Mike Conley has one of those releases in 2K, which there's no movement in his arm whatsoever, so it's tough to tell when to actually release the stick, but we got them both. 4 points, about 18 seconds left. This Dallas team, man, guts. They got gumption, as Big Crit would say. But now Golden State being Golden State, you know they're going to get a 3-pointer off somehow. Draymond gets that, which means Dirk, get the hell over here so you can shoot some free throws. Okay, he may have a weird release. Well, it's kind of weird. But it's going to drop because the guy's like a 90 bajillion from the free throw line, right? Come on, Dirk, we need this one, okay? We got to make this a 3-point game because, well, it'll just make me feel good. Very good. Play defense for one play, guys. I know that's tough to do against the Warriors, but we got to do it. That might drop. Oh, my goodness. Get it to Dirk again. And there we have it. The Mavericks defeating the Golden State Warriors in Golden State, and everyone around the league started to go, huh, that was an impressive victory. Winning late in a comeback. And so we started to say, yeah, this Dallas team, they could be a force, and they were. To end the season, they were among the top in the Western Conference, not the 1 seed, but among the top. In the postseason, they were actually fortunate enough to not see Golden State because they lost, somehow. They went up against the Trailblazers in the first round. That was easy. Their first real challenge came in the conference finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder and the MVP, Russell Westbrook. But under no circumstances should you ever forget about Kevin Durant as well. But even with that, Dallas was tough, and they went into OKC up 3-2 with a chance to clinch an NBA Finals berth. But Oklahoma City is a wild-as-hell crowd, and, well, of course, it's basically impossible to defend Kevin Durant one-on-one. OKC takes the lead, running a Mike Conley, Deron Williams backcourt at the moment. Yes, Deron Williams was still a member of the team. He was still playing decent. Given that he was now coming off the bench, he didn't have to do as much. It was okay that he was slightly overweight. It was cool. And you're going to see his worth here in a second as he gets open for this nice little about 15-footer, and it drops. I mean, Bob would probably be outraged at that shot, as I kind of am too. But if it goes in, don't worry about it. And ooh, this is an ugly possession. Just throw it up, Parsons. Yeah. Oh well, I mean, I'd rather, actually, I was going to say I'd prefer not to have OKC in the open floor, but it happened anyway. Thank God Durant missed it. So we got a chance to perhaps secure this lead a bit, which I would be very happy with. You know we got to call upon Dirk the Jerk to make it happen, right? Well, Enes Kanter ain't playing no defense, that's for damn sure. A bit of a lead. Wesley Matthews back in the game now because you can't go too long without his shooting. And oh crap. Why did I decide to pass it down to Chandler Parsons? I should have just done a pick and roll with Conley and Dirk. Yep. I paid for a bad idea on that one. Don't pass to the guy in the corner. And you know that OKC crowd is getting loud. So we got to go to our money play. Dirk Nowitzki, he can still hit a turnaround jumper. Ooh, my goodness. That ball just knew exactly where to go into the rim. And unlike the last possession, the spacing on this one is pretty damn terrible. Ain't no way I'm going to shoot that with Dirk, but Parsons, he's got an open shot. Ooh, man, I really wanted that one. That would have been a nice 5-point lead. But instead, OKC ain't going away. They're trying to force a Game 7, just as much as we're trying to get out of here. And OKC forced us into a switch, but you see the defensive instincts of Wesley Matthews to double team there. And thank you very much, Kevin Durant, for not making that one. And we could really use a basket about right now, because a tie game, 2.5 minutes left. I'm not feeling that one. Oh, y'all left Chandler Parsons wide open. Ooh, hoo, hoo. That was mean. That was cold. It was dirty. But we got to play some defense on Russell Westbrook if we want that to actually hold up. And, oh no. Ooh, Dirk. I mean, listen, Dirk at this age, he's great offensively. He's still efficient. He can hit a shot. Defensively, there's a reason why we got Hassan Whiteside, but Cantor misses the free throw. And so that gives us the opportunity to keep on extending this lead. And of course, you got to go to the cheese play again. Dirk Nowitzki, that turnaround, my goodness. Gosh dong dang it, that shot is beautiful. It's just a beautiful thing. We'll see if Russell Westbrook tries to take somebody's head off here. Nope, he actually passed the ball. And holy crap, Enes Kanter. I feel like OKC would rather have Steven Adams on the floor if they could do that one over again. Now, if you notice, we got a little bit of a switch here. Westbrook is on Dirk at the moment, which means y'all better bring a double team, because if you don't, oh man, it's beautiful. That's just great. Dirk Nowitzki, barely able to move sometimes, gives us a 5-point lead. But you know Russell Westbrook will just hold that turbo button at a minute's notice. Nope, actually he's going to pass it off to his center to take a 22-footer. I don't know about that play either, man. Dirk to the free throw line, getting those excellent releases. And so OKC, they gave us a little bit of a fight, actually a really big fight. But Dallas Mavericks with Mike Conley, Hassan Whiteside, getting busy in free agency. Pays off. Going to the NBA Finals. Now this is a nice sight, even if we have to do it in the back because we're on the road. Nice little Western Conference trophy. Who we go up against in the NBA Finals? The team you always face, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Although a bit different looking, they have Bradley Beal at the 2-guard spot because Kevin Love decided to go to Philadelphia 76ers for reasons that I can't understand. But it was a back and forth affair this series. LeBron James's playmaking was really unstoppable for the Mavericks. At one time they gave him a zone defense and he didn't know how to look straight. But now he knows what he's doing. But the push and pull of the series, it was so close. In the margin for error for both teams, minuscule to say the least. Just back and forth, back and forth. And it was obvious that neither one of these guys was going to have a clear advantage over the other, even if Mike Conley's feelings just got hurt from that block. And so the teams would go to Dallas for a deciding Game 7. Because how else was I going to end this thing? And right off the jump, a phantom steal by the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we're already looking a little crappy. The fourth quarter, we're already giving the ball up. But it's fine, don't worry about it. Let's just call this pick and roll with Dirk. Get him the ball. Oh my god, you gotta be frickin' kidding me. What is going on right now, guys? Screw you, Bradley Beal, for making that shot. Are we gonna blow this in the last game? And as J.R. Smith reluctantly shoots an open jumper, Anderson Varejao just makes this a little worse. Jesus, man. The guy got 2 rebounds there. Down 6. And LeBron isn't even in the game. But we gotta go to the Dirk Nowitzki pick and roll because it is so effective, as you'd imagine, with Mike Conley. And oh no, you left the knockdown Wesley Matthews wide open. Don't do that. Okay? We got Wesley Matthews, we got Chandler Parsons. They both can shoot. They call upon Anderson Varejao because, I don't know why. LeBron still on the floor right there. And you know what? I'm trying my damnedest not to call a timeout, cause any stoppages in play, because I don't want LeBron on the floor right now, okay? We got down 6 with him off the floor. And really, it's Bradley Beal in a Game 7. Do we really think he's going to kill us? Well, he dribbled the ball off of Wesley Matthews' foot. It probably should have been a kick ball, but instead it's 2 points. So we take the lead. LeBron James still not in the game. Well, unfortunately, Tristan Thompson fouls me, which causes stoppages in play, and the King has re-entered the building. So let's see how he does, because we've already got a lead on him. Oh boy. This might get bad. The second he entered the game, he just threw it down on our entire lives. But can they defend the pick and roll with Dirk? Well, not really, because Wesley Matthews found himself open under the basket. So one thing that can be said about us besides our talent is the basketball IQ is pretty impressive throughout. And I don't know when Wesley Matthews became a 73 free throw shooter. but they're still going in. We got a really good lead, 7 points. LeBron James is, oh no. And I just kind of lost the ball to Kyrie. I was going to say LeBron James is going to have to really do something. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe we'll just mess it up for him. And then Kyrie gets open there. Oh boy, here we go. This is that moment where this is the worst rebuild on YouTube because we don't actually win. We just lose in Game 7. Wouldn't that be fantastic? But we got to call upon Whiteside, and my goodness, look at this. They just parted the Red Sea. I had to take a moment to look at everything. I'm like, am I really this open under the basket with Whiteside? I mean, no rotations, no help, nothing. And oof, LeBron went for it inside. Hassan Whiteside shot blocking. It's the best in the league right now. And y'all just left Mike Conley open. That is a 10-point lead. 2.5 minutes left in this Game 7 of the NBA Finals. We were actually doing worse when LeBron was on the bench. And we don't play any defense there. But even then, double digits with just over a minute left, I mean, we just don't have to do anything too... Oh god, here we go. We're trying our damnedest to blow this game, aren't we? Well, it's alright because... that was a hell of a shot by Bradley Beal. Did he always wear a headband? Maybe he did and I didn't realize it. And we spoke on Dirk Nowitzki in the beginning of this marathon of a video. And I think we might have to end it with him. Dirk, the 3-point play. And I think the championship allure, the smell, which I don't really know how a championship can smell, but it's whatever. It's beginning to become apparent. Because Dallas Mavericks are NBA champions once again. If you look at LeBron James on the right-hand side, he's looking depressed as all hell. Actually, it looks like him and Chandler Parsons just like did some weird dance routine. We won the championship. Who would have thought it? A rebuild video ending with a championship victory. That's just weird. No one saw that coming, right? And so as we're all hugging each other and trying not to eat any confetti as Chris Bosh did, I recommend you YouTube that if you haven't seen it. Celebration. And we see Bill Russell and Adam Silver and whoever the hell else on the right-hand side there. And then Dirk Nowitzki traversing time with another championship, still beating the league this long. Mike Conley with the Finals MVP. And then as we raise the banner, we can only say, I don't know. This was pretty cool, I guess. I've been talking for like 23 minutes now, so I'm gonna go shut up. Have a good day. I'm out.